Hello and welcome. I'm 𝐃𝐞𝐜𝐤𝐬. I am a Lightworker, healer, and mystic. I support the awakened feminine in stepping confidently forward into her spiritual service, into her mission, and also learning ways that she can heal herself and just shine her much needed, glorious light out into the world. Today I am doing a pick a card reading in lieu of the feminine forecast for the week ahead. To be honest, I just wanted to do a pick a card, and I'm all about following my heart these days, and so here we are. If you're looking at me and like, she should have cleaned up that background a little bit, I am totally with you. My daughter and I are in the midst of moving. There's boxes everywhere, there's clutter everywhere. There is no vacant wall to film a video, and so we're just doing it this way, and it's all good because there is perfection in the imperfection. I am honored to be able to show you a glimpse into my very messy, very boxed up life right now. But this video is actually going to drop on the day that we are moving. So please send a little love, send some good vibes my way. This reading, this pick a card, is going to go over where you should be focusing over the next week. So let's extend it out a little bit, because I'm hearing like over the next 7 to 10 days. Where do you need to focus your energy? So a specific area of focus, how it relates to your bigger picture. We're also going to chat about an animal guide that is wanting to work with you and work through you right now, and very important, blocks to abundance, how you can clear them so that you can welcome all that Source has in store for you, because it's a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and drop an overhead picture so you can drop into the heart and listen to which pile is really calling to you, which one is speaking to you. And then check in the video description for the timestamp, and I will see you in your reading. Hello and welcome to you, Pile 1. I am so excited to do this reading for you. It's giving me such a needed break from boxing up everything in my life. So if you are here, as much as this is something that I am doing for you, it feels very much like you being here and me being able to do this for you is for me right now. It's some serious self-care. All right, so if you picked Pile 1, the area of focus for the next 7 to 10 days, we have the Empress. This is a major arcana card, so whatever it is that's going on within your mission right now, it's big and it's important. And specifically when I'm picking up the energy of the Empress and I'm seeing her in a reading, it's really a sign that you're being invited to be a little bit more in your feminine energy. In traditional tarot, the Empress is pregnant. She is ready to birth this creation out into the world. And so what I am picking up on is that you are in the midst of what feels like a very long holding pattern. Like you're circling the airport, just ready to come in for landing, and know that that is for a reason. Sit with whatever this is a little bit longer this week, not because it's not because, you know, it's Spirit saying it's not your thing, releasing it will be a mistake. But there are, what I'm hearing are some details that are going to be dropping in to allow it to become its fullest version, to help it become just fully aligned to you and where you most desire to go. Now, how this plays into the bigger picture for you, we have the golden children. So this is a lot about inner child work. So I'm kind of feeling like there's something from your childhood, like a gift, something you used to do as a kid, something you yearned to do as a kid, but maybe we're told, no, you're not allowed to, that wants to be revisited over the next 7 to 10 days. So drop in and just kind of be curious, like a child is curious. Ask questions of yourself, ask questions of your team to get more information. And I'm actually, you know, I have a 7-year-old, and I'm thinking about, damn, she asks a lot of questions, and that's what you're being asked to do over the next 7 to 10 days. Ask questions, gather information. And this isn't information that is like, go and research or go read a bunch of books. It's ask questions of yourself. And these are questions like, what do I want to do with this project or this idea, or where do I really want to go next in my life? The other thing, I just looked down, and one of the tagline, or one of the phrases in the tagline, is rare gifts. And Spirit is really inviting you to see yourself as a rare gift. What you put out into the world is special and unique. Even if it's something that, you know, I'm thinking like there are thousands, probably hundreds of thousands astrologers out there, but the world still needs more astrologers. There's a very specific cohort of people and souls that came here to work with you as an astrologer, okay? If you're not an astrologer, insert that thing that you do, whatever you're a goddess of. And just know that regardless of how many people are out there doing something similar, they can do similar, they cannot do the same. You are what makes what you offer a gift. You are what makes it special and unique. And Spirit is saying, please own that. All right. Now, the guide that wants to work with you this week is the shark. Ooh, so the shark is so interesting because the shark is the masculine army of the ocean. And here we have the divine feminine sitting in your reading as your area of focus this week. So there is some balancing going on. I think you are a very action-oriented and focused person. You are one of those women, I know there are many of you out there, that like to get it done. And if you're not progressing, if you're not moving, if you're not creating, you sometimes are feeling like, is anything really happening at all? And Spirit is really saying, yes, in fact, it's happening in your womb space. It's happening within you. And once it, you know, comes to full term, you'll be able to push it out into the world. Now, I know I'm using a lot of like pregnancy terms here, but just know that this is, it doesn't have to be a child, a two-legged, or maybe you're waiting for puppies or kittens. It doesn't have to be that. This is a creation. This is something that you are putting out into the world that's going to be of service. Just dropping in real quick and listening. So with the shark working with you, what the shark wants you to know is really that as you are tending to this creation on a more intimate and a more subtle way, the universe is, and I get this message all the time, the universe is working on your behalf. So right now you're coming into your feminine, you're being a little bit more receptive, you're being a little bit more in that allowing space, in that rest energy even, and the universe is doing the work for you. So can you surrender? Can you release your grip? And I'm just looking at your next card, and it's very similar to release your grip. Can you let go just a little bit so that the universe has some space to do what it wants to do, to make the magic, to do the thing on your behalf? And what is blocking your abundance? What you really need to know in order to get to fully birthing this is detachment. You know, everyone's favorite message, detach, surrender, let go, release, you know, those big messages that we get all the time. And my gosh, are they hard on the heart? So what this card says is, with detachment, you finally feel whole inside with or without the fulfillment of a particular desire. Ironically, yep, that's often when it's fulfilled. So can you find it within yourself to know you've done the work, you've done it, you've done the shark energy, and now the universe is going to do it for you. Now it's like, sit back, maybe do that nesting, you know, get other things in order, maybe clean your house, she says, as she's looking at the boxes out of the corner of her eye. But what else can you focus on? How can you get ready without being focused on it? Because whatever it is you've been working on, whatever creation you are yearning to put out into the world, it's going to happen. For you guys, I almost feel like you've maybe hit publish on the offer, or you've released your work into the world, and maybe you haven't seen the return yet on it. And that's where you are 100% focused on, is the lack of return. So pivot your focus just slightly. Well, some of you, it's going to be more than slightly. So pivot your focus and just know, in that very energy that you then step into, it's going to happen and it's going to come for you. really beautiful energy. Let me know how it resonates. Let me know what you've been working on or what you are feeling pregnant with right now. And yeah, such a powerful reading for you. Because like I said, you guys, you are the ones that like to get it done. And I feel like you've gotten it done. What's left are the aspects that you can't control. But the good news is that what you can't control, the universe can handle on your behalf. All right, so that is what I have for you. Let me know how it resonates in the comments, and I will see you soon. Hello and welcome to those of you who were guided to pile 2. So we are going to go through your reading, focusing on where you're being asked to look over the next 7 to 10 days in your spiritual mission, how that focus actually plays into the higher picture, the biggest dream that you have for yourself, an animal guide that wants to work with you, and what is blocking abundance from coming right to your doorstep. So let's get right on into it. For your area of focus over the next couple of days, I have the Prince of Discs, who is the Knight of Pentacles in traditional tarot. He is the slowest energy in the tarot. He comes up a lot. And the energy for him is, it says reliability, but for you guys, I actually am hearing the word consistency. And there's a couple of different ways that you can go about considering consistency when it comes to your spiritual mission. So for some of you, you kind of only show up when you feel like it, and you're looking for it to be more than just a hobby and more than a passion. And so that is going to ask of you to show up more regularly, to show up more consistently. Now, for those of you who do very much honor your intuition and the ebb and flow of things, little word of guidance for you. So if you have these periods where you are just like on fire in regards to creation, create and then schedule it out so that your people, those who you are called to serve, aren't going sometimes 2, 3, 4 weeks without hearing a word from you. And that's going to do a lot for them to know, you know, oh, she's still here. And oh, this is something she takes serious, because this is something that I need help with and I'm serious about it. So that's something you want to pay attention to. The other thing in regards to consistency is tuning into your message, tuning in and making sure that you're speaking to the same thing regularly, or to the same people regularly. And I know from experience how challenging this is, because so many of us are multi-passionate, we're multi-gifted, we have a lot of things that we have a lot to say about. And so what Spirit is really saying is, over the next couple of weeks, maybe pick the 2 to 3 themes or topics or messages that you want to put out into the world, and then stay centered there. A lot of times you're being governed and swayed by whatever your current interest is. And what's happening for you that I'm picking up on is you're always like, you're just like an inch in front of those that you are serving. And what Spirit is also saying is that they're having a hard time following you. They're having a hard time knowing what they can count on you for. So it might be like one day you're showing up and talking about yoga, and then another time you're showing up and talking about, I'm like, not yoga, but you're like talking about, what I'm hearing is like your weekend plans, but not in a way that it relates. So build that like, know, and trust by showing up consistently and having basically the red thread woven throughout everything that you're putting out into the world. I don't believe spiritual mission has to have, also has to be a business, but I am picking that up for this pile, that you do have this desire to turn your mission, to turn your gifts into something that generates some income for yourself, whether full-time or part-time. And so that consistency and that reliability is going to be very important. You can still be reliable and honor your intuition and honor your energy flow. You have to find ways that make that work for you. But there's a lot of, what I'm hearing is that there's a lot of gaps in between when you show up and gaps within the message that you're putting out into the world. So just say, like, what do I want to be known for? What do I want people to come to me for? And then stay anchored in that. And how is this focus and this reliability playing into your bigger picture? So we have the card Star Ancestors, and this is really about hidden wisdom. This is also about going a little bit deeper. One of the things that happens is when you put out something new for the first time, there's a lot of interest, and that's because it's something new, but then it tapers off. And so then you test something else out. And Spirit is saying, rather than focus on just the current following that you have, stay consistent in what you're putting out there and focus on just expanding it to more people. Okay. And then the other thing that's dropping in is look a little bit more closely at your patterns, because this is a lifelong pattern where I'm just listening, where you show up like really, and it's a challenge, and I understand the challenge. You show up when you feel like it, not necessarily when you're called. So there's some stuff, some inner work you need to do around that. I'm not getting too much from it, and I think it's because you guys are kind of seasoned at the inner work. And so if you're like, what am I supposed to be doing next? How can I move forward? That's how. Look at the pattern that has you not show up consistently. Why does your energy, what they're saying is like drastically ebb and flow so much? And why do you jump from maybe topic to topic? Okay, let's keep moving, because I could talk a lot about that, because I have experience with this, and it really just takes a lot of honesty and a lot of silence to get clear on your shit. Okay, your animal guide, and like I said, this Prince of Discs, the Knight of Pentacles, slow energy, and your animal guide is the turtle, which is very slow, very steady, and it is like slow and steady wins the race. You are a very passionate person. You probably have a lot of fire placements in your natal chart. And so it's like you run out of the gates and you throw everything at it and you give it everything you have, and then you burn yourself out. And then you rest, you recover, and then you repeat the cycle again. And really both of these cards are, how can you create a sustainable energy? Okay, so that's part of the answer to your inner work, but that little nugget will get you going. But the turtle, it says, be joyful and trusting. So rather than feel like, oh my God, there's something wrong with how I do things and how I'm serving, that's not it at all. This is really an opportunity for you to align higher to that highest of high plans and paths and visions that you hold for yourself. Okay? So when you start to find yourself flying forward, just kind of throwing everything at it, opening yourself up completely, consider, how can I slow this down so that it's sustainable? And then what's blocking your abundance is allowing, and I have to tell you, it's like you have to allow people to get to know you before they're going to buy from you. You have to invite people to build that connection with you before they're saying yes, work with me on my healing, guide me on my journey. The tagline, the subtext is, the radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment, so what's needed can come next. For you, I do feel it's like, come into whatever it is you have going on and sit there for a bit. Allow for yourself to stay in one place for longer than what you've allowed in the past. Yeah, and once you do that, things are just going to start flowing towards you. It's going to make sense, and you're going to understand why Spirit really wants you to, what I'm hearing is like, to commit. Big message for you guys, and we're talking 7 to 10 days. This is just the tip of the iceberg for you guys in doing this work. But like I said, I feel like you guys are the veteran healers, mystic light workers. This isn't your first time going within to find the answers. You're going to come through this relatively quickly, but it is going to take you saying, I'm not going to keep leaping from thing to thing. I'm going to get centered in myself, and I'm going to move forward from that space. Okay, so that's what I have for you. Let me know how this resonates in the comments. Let me know how you progress over the week, and I will see you next time. Bye. All right, hello and welcome. This is your reading if you were drawn to pile 3. So we're going to see where you're being called to focus, what that has to say about this bigger vision that you hold for yourself, an animal guide that is wanting to work with you and through you this week, and then what's blocking abundance. Super important to know that, right? So I'm looking at your cards. We're going to get right on into it. What area of focus do you need to be aware of this week? And we have the Devil. This is a major arcana card. This is a major energy for you. Card number 15. If that resonates, 15 might be important to you. It breaks down to a 6, so perhaps that's your life path number. But when the Devil comes up, you are really being asked to own and integrate your shadow a little bit more. So for those of you who are content creators, who are light workers with a business, or are out there sharing your gifts, Spirit is really saying that you do tend to show up as your best self out in the world, and Spirit wants you to show your whole self. So not just your successes, not just your wins, not just the parts of you that are we would identify as light, but some of the challenges that you've been through. Now, you don't have to write from a space of, woe is me and look at how awful things in my life are going, or create drama, but there does need to be, what I'm hearing is a little bit more vulnerability from you. And this really, what the word that's coming through is relatability. And what would really enhance your mission and your message is being a little bit more vulnerable. You are someone who likes to appear to others as though you have it all together, even when what Spirit is saying is even when things are falling apart. And again, this message isn't like if life is falling apart, just like blow it out into the world. Not the case at all, but there does need to be a little bit more of your shadow self being expressed and shown, the wounds that you've healed, the work that you've done, where you were versus where you are now. So the theme that you're focusing on this week is how can you put that out into the world in a way that feels safe, authentic, and healthy for you. And I actually feel like this is a big thing for you. I mean, obviously it's a major arcana card, but I think it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for you. But how does this play into the bigger picture, the higher vision that you hold for yourself? So we have the Whale and Orca elders, which is all about your soul song. And your wounds, where you've been, how bad it once was, is a part of your story that is worth repeating, that is worth sharing. And again, it makes you relatable, but it also allows people to say, she has been through what I am going through. She is who I want to work with. She is who is going to get me. Once you start to put this version or this side of your story out into the world, it's going to do wonders for your heart chakra. I'm feeling it open up on me right now. But it's going to kind of soften the energy around your heart. You've got a lot of walls that you've built around the heart so that you can maintain this persona of perfection, is what they're saying. And people do see through that. They do know, like, nobody's got it all together like that. Nobody's that perfect. So they know that. And if you let down your guard, it's almost like they're going to say, yes, there she is. That's who I most want to connect with and work with. Now, don't hear that and think, oh my God, people don't like me. They love you. They adore you. They just want to see all of you and more of you. Okay, so put just a little bit. You don't have to air out all the laundry, all the drama, all the trauma. Put out just a little bit. And do this, I would say, given the energy that's coming off of these cards. Oh yeah, and I'm having it reflected right here, or affirmed right here. Go step by step with this. Just one small nugget of, I was here and it sucked, and this is how I came through. What they're also showing me is, don't let it seem like you were here and then it was a straight line to here, because it wasn't that perfect. It wasn't that effortless. It took a lot from you. You tried a lot of things, but the fact that you tried a lot of things and found what works makes you the ideal person to heal and speak and educate and guide and lead and all the things to the people you're here to serve. Okay. All right. Woo! There's always an energy. There's always a pile that's a little bit thicker, and y'all are the little bit thicker energy this week or this time. But it's all good. We're here. Danielle Laporte, I was recently listening to her on a call, and she said shadow work is the light work. And that really spoke to me, and I'm feeling guided. I was guided to share that with you, that shadow work is the light work. The light work isn't just like, you know, the sunshine, roses, glitter, and rainbows. It's the deeper, darker, more, I'll say hurtful crap that we've been through, that we've navigated in our lifetimes. Animal guide. We have the kingfisher, who's all about staying patient and really focused. So with this, I feel like, you know, there's going to be a lot that comes up. Maybe you craft a post and you have to walk away. You can't publish it right away. Like, walk away, take the breath, then come back and hit publish. Or maybe, you know, you find that little nugget of wisdom and guidance, or that little morsel of your story that you're going to put out there, and just stay patient with yourself. One of the things that I'm seeing in my mind's eye that's happened is you write the whole thing and then you chicken out and you don't hit publish, or you don't hit post, and it's cool. Be patient with yourself during this part of your journey. It's not easy, and it's not something that you are comfortable with. It's going to push you out of your comfort zone, so stay patient with yourself. If it takes you a little bit of time to dip your toes in the vulnerability waters, it's okay. All right? Spirit really wants you to know, be patient. Take your time with this. Breathe through it. Get support. You know, like, one of the things that they just said is, maybe let your sister circle know, I'm about to drop a very vulnerable post and I'm very anxious that it's going to like fall on, you know, nobody's going to like it, nobody's going to engage with it, and say like, is anybody willing to read it and give me feedback? And I'm sure that they're all going to not only read it and give you feedback that's like, we're so glad you're showing yourself, but they're going to love it, they're going to share it, they're going to comment. And what's blocking your abundance? Ease. You guys make everything harder than it needs to be in life. I've been here. I'm still here sometimes. It's an everyday part of the process, but it says it's easy for me to receive. It's easy for me to receive. It's easy for me to receive. I don't think that there's much more I can say about that, except it's easy for you to receive. So tune into and notice, you know, it's very interesting. Recently, I was doing my journaling about a goal that just wasn't manifesting. And I noticed as I zoomed out and I looked down at what I had written, I saw how much resistance I had to letting it be easy, letting myself receive it. And once I was aware of it, I could start to like clear those blocks away through my practices, through just reprogramming my unconscious mind and my conscious mind. But really look at what it is that you're doing, the resistance that you have to fully receiving things that are easy. So interesting, because you really want to put out that message of, oh, this is so easy. This was so easy for me, but it wasn't. And that's something for you to sit with and kick around in the journal, in, you know, in your sister circle. You guys must have a little family of girlfriends that you talk about this stuff with. But yeah, like, you want everyone else to see the A to Z line, or the A to B line. And really, like, it wasn't like that for you, but you want people to think like, oh yeah, you just figured it out, it was totally easy. So interesting. So interesting. Sit with that. All right, my love. Well, that is what I have for you. It was a true honor to sit with you and read for you today. I hope that this is helpful. Remember that this energy is going to run from 7 to 10 days. It is timeless. With something like this, give yourself the grace, be patient, and if it takes longer, let it take longer. But get the support you need. Put yourself out there into the world, all of you, the whole self, because she needs to be seen. And you're going to receive easily as a result of it. Okay? Love you, and I will see you next time. Bye.